Hi, everyone. I'm Miranda Keskes. I'm an Author Accelerator certified fiction book coach, as well as an author and educator. And I'm going to show you how to take your Google Doc and make sure that it is formatted so that it is standard manuscript ready. All right, so first you can see here, I've already created a document. I've titled it My Manuscript. This is where you'll obviously put the name of your manuscript. And it already looks a bit messy, you can see. It's just a bunch of random notes thrown in here. Pretty common when you're gathering things from all over into one spot. First thing I'd want to check is to make sure that the margins are 1 inch, and they are. That's typically the default. And then I'm going to go to Show Non-Printing Characters so I can easily see what's going on with my formatting. And then I can also unclick it. And so now I'm going to highlight everything, and I'm going to make sure it is Times New Roman, 12 size font, and then also double spaced. Great, it's already looking better. But then I'm noticing there's some spacing where I don't want it. And so to make sure the spacing is consistent, here I can remove spaces before and after the paragraph. So I'm going to click that for both. And I can already see it's changing. Notice I can always add them back in if I want, but typically you wouldn't want them. Okay, it's looking better, but you'll notice I don't have any clear paragraph indentations. So now what I want to do is go to Format, Align and Edit, Indentation Options. And I want to make sure that the first line is always a ½ inch. There we are. All right, we're getting close to ready. But now I want my chapters to stand out. And so I'm going to go here, and I want those to be to the left. And I'm going to make sure that this is heading 1. So now it shows up over here. And this is great because I want to be able to see where my chapters are as this gets bigger and bigger. And we'll do heading 1. Okay. And now you'll notice here, I'm going to make sure that these are also in Times New Roman. I want that to be my default, and I like them centered. It doesn't really matter as long as you're consistent. And so I'm going to make sure that they're both Times New Roman, and I just like centering. You can keep them left justified. Another important step now is to make sure that every chapter starts on a new page. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go Insert, Break, Page Break. Voila. Now you can see my new chapters starting here. And then every time I'm going to add a chapter, I'm going to go to click there, and I'm going to do page break. One last tip is that typically you want to have the chapter start about a third of the way down. This isn't like exact science as long as you're consistent. I'm just going to do 3 indents here. So 3 paragraph indentations, and it's heading 1 Times New Roman 20. And I just want to make sure I'm consistent. So I'm just going to copy it, and then I'm just going to do it right above it. Whoop, hold on here. Paste. There. And it looks like I still have an extra one. So you see, you can get a little bit fiddly here, but you can see now just always making sure that you are matching, and then these do. So now when I go to View, Show on Non-Print Characters, this is already looking so much better. And then you might have to go through and check a few things. Like I'll notice when I was working here, I want that to go to a new paragraph. This looks much better. So now in my next video, I'm going to show you how to add now the headers so that way you can see page numbers. So stay tuned for the next video.